Let's look at getting started on page 208 and 209. They ask you to choose any 3 digits from the cards below. I've highlighted the cards that we are going to use. It's 7, 4, 3, 5, and then the comma. I'm not sure why in your textbooks they actually repeated the numbers again. You actually need these 4 digits plus the comma. It says use the 3 digits with a decimal comma to make the nearest number you can to the numbers listed. And then they give us an example of 55. By using these 4 numbers with a comma, we have to get as close as possible to 55. And then they used a 5, a 4, and a 7. So they said 54,7, which is 0,3 marks away from 55. That is the closest number to 55 that they could make with these cards available to them. Let's do the 6 examples at number 1 by using these 4 cards. Ignore these extra ones. What number can we make that is the nearest to 70? So we've got a 7, a 4, a 3, a 5, and a comma. So my head immediately goes to the 7 and the 3, which gives me 73. And then because I want 70, I need to go a number down. Between the 4 and the 5, I need to take the lowest one. And then I will get 73,4. What is closest to 36? So you've got 2 options. You can either go with 35 or 37 and then use one of the examples. Let's look at 37. Immediately gives you 1 more, and 35 immediately gives you 1 less. And then you have to play around. So I think it's going to be 35,7. Here's your 35, and there's your 7. That's only 0,3 away from 36. If you use 37, you're already a whole unit away from 36. So that's why we rather use 35. What do you say is closest to 50? Again, you've got 2 options. You can either go something with 40 or you can go something with 50. My first reaction was something with a 5, like 53,4. But then I realized there's also a 47 that you can actually use. So if you take 47 and then you take the 5, you are 2.5 away from 50. So if you take the 50 and you take the 3 and you take a 4, so 53,4, you are 3,4 away, which is more. So the closest number will be 47,5. Closest to 60, I think we will use the 57,4. Here's your 5, 7, and your 4. Closest to 8, that's an interesting one. We use our 7, let's see, 7, probably 5, 4 is the closest we are going to get. There's no higher number like a 9, so we'll have to use the 7, 5, 4. And then the closest to 6. Again, now we have to decide between the 5 and the 7. So if we do 7, 5, it's too high. If we do 5, 7, we will get closer. So 5, 7, 4 is then the closest to 6. Okay, so grade 6 is that simply tests your number knowledge. It's like giving you 4 different numbers and asking you what's the biggest, what's the smallest number that you can make out of these blocks of cards. So it's very important just to play around with combinations to get to the closest possible answer. Now they ask you at number 2 to look at the following number. It says 659,703. What is the place value of each of these digits? Now remember, they're not asking value, which is the real value of a number. They're asking the place. So what place are these numbers at? So if we look at the 6, that's 600. So that's 100. Then the 5 is tens. The 3 is thousands. The place value of the 9 is units. That's your ones. Then the place value of your 7 is your tenths. So this is tens, but this is tenths. And then the place value of the naught will then be hundredths. Okay, so that's your smaller ones, and these are your bigger numbers. Place value, I didn't say 9 units, 5 tens. I said just tens or just thousands, not 3 thousands. Okay, so be very careful when you do place value. No numbers, only the letters, basically. The place where they are situated. For the last question of getting started at number 3, they ask you to write what you must add to get to the second number. So if we look at the blocks, we first thought maybe it's a pattern that we need to complete, but it's actually just to say what must be added to the first number to get to the second one. So what needs to be added to 2,35 in order to get 2,9? Now, grade 6s, remember, if you want to do a calculation with decimal fractions, you need to make the place values after the comma the same. So if this example has 2 places after the comma, we have to make the second example the same. So we add a naught. So this is now actually 35 and this is 90. So what do we need to add to 2,35 to get to 2,90? We need to add 0,55. How do we get that answer? We just simply do our minus sum. So 2,90 minus 2,35. And then you do your normal sum. Next one, what do we need to add to 1,32 to get 1,94? We need to add 0,62. Number C, what do we need to add to 0,36 to get to 0,61? First, complete the 36 to 60, you get 24, and you need to add one more. So you add 0,25. And then the last example, make the place values the same again, 2 places after the comma. What do you need to add to 44 to get basically 100? You need to add 56. So it's 0,56. And how do you do that? You simply minus the 2 digits from each other.